GoDaddy, as many of we are the world's largest online small business platform where we help small businesses, entrepreneurs, individual entrepreneurs kind of come online, grow online, and thrive online. And essentially, think of it when you think of any idea you want to start with, right? The first thing you think about is domain name. Let me buy this domain name, whether it's .com or .in or .org. And that's where your journey with GoDaddy starts. That what do you name your venture, right? Very important to find that name because that stays with you for the rest of your lifetime of that venture. And once you find that name, you secure the name. The next thing is how do you bring it online? How can people discover you, right? So once you have a name, now people need to find you, and that's when your website creation, your web hosting, and everything comes in. And then once you've named it, and when people are able to find you online, how do you grow your brand or your venture, right? Which is really about being able to communicate with your customers, which is getting the right email, the productivity tools and communication tools and all that stuff. So GoDaddy comes in this journey end to end. And today, overall, worldwide, we have 19 million customers. And in India, we have the leading market share in this industry.
Wow. Okay, so going ahead with this, Nikhil, what GoDaddy is doing, you are dealing with, I believe, a very segment of customers who are small businesses, maybe a sole proprietor or a team dealing a bigger business and at different life cycle of their business, if I may say. So how are you dealing during this, especially during this COVID pandemic and lockdown situation? How are you dealing with your segment of customers, and not only customers, your vendors, your business partners, your associates? What is the strategy GoDaddy is looking at dealing with all of them?
Yeah, so it's a tough time for everybody, and I think it is a time where everybody's kind of learning as level, right? All of us are trying new innovations and new ideas, right? I think of it. All of us are like college graduates right now, coming out of college and figuring it out. What is the right model? But what we have done is, applying the first basic principle, what we call human first. So our focus has been, how do we make sure our employees first, our customers, and our partners are all in good health and healthy conditions. Their well-being is taken care of, and they're at least emotionally connected to each other. So what I do every day is I'm on a huddle with our customers at least for 30-40 minutes. Different kind of customers, whether they're partners or whether they're suppliers or whether they're end customers, just to understand what is the journey they're going through, what are the pain points they're going through. So I have both an empathy and understanding of what are the gaps there and how we can perhaps try to be with them. It's not like we can help them in every way, but at least being there in that thought process and in that kind of tough moment gives us a very good sense. So we started this kind of a microsite called Open We Stand, which essentially is a collection of all tools and services which are being offered for free to all small business and entrepreneurs. You can go on our website and there's a link there. And Open We Stand gives you access to different companies we have partnered with. They are offering different products or services for free for a certain amount of time. And we felt like, that's the first thing we could do, is to bring a collection of partners, because we do domains and website, but somebody else may do some financial services, somebody else may do some education products. So how do we bring everything together? Because a lot of customers look at us as kind of, their end-to-end small business partner. So Open We Stand, a website that gives you access to many tools. Secondly, we also realized this time that people are home, and a lot of people want to take this opportunity to upskill themselves, right? Reskill themselves. There's a lot of online education going on. So we've stood up an initiative called GoDaddyAcademy.com, where basically, if you want to learn about digital marketing, if you want to learn about designing a website, or you want to even go further on to you want to become a web designer, because a lot of people think of that as a profession. We are offering those courses on GoDaddyAcademy.com, where you can take either small courses or, maybe a longer courses of 30-40 hours and keep upskilling yourself, especially as we think about, the whole digitization moving forward. So I think that's on the customer partner front. I think on the employee front, obviously, it all starts with employees, right? Because employees have to be taken care of before you can take care of anybody. So what we've basically done is making sure, we are all trying to connect as much as possible. So, all the way from having, daily kind of video chats to daily fitness classes, and I'll talk about it a little more, to about, just connecting with each other on non-work basis, right? Because I think one thing we wanted to make sure we realize people to be comfortable in their video call, right? Because before the COVID, everybody used to be perfectly dressed in their video calls. They didn't want their kids around. They want their surroundings to look as perfect, right? And the first thing we did was, you don't have to worry about that, right? Just be natural. I mean, yes, your kid keeps coming in your room. It's fine, right? Because kids are also suffering from the same, aspect as we are. You don't need to look perfect. You don't need your surroundings. You don't need to look perfect. So how do we make that ease of, kind of communicating without any kind of pressure of like, this is the way I need to show up, right? And so on. So making sure we're making things easier for for employees, having a dialogue with them, making sure we're extending any knowledge we have to them and to their families and all that, all that kind of information. So just having that human connect very closely and many multiple times is really the first basic things we've done.
Oh, so you spoke about the specific thing about the upskilling bit. I do want to take an opportunity, and I know you will be very interested in talking about the work that you're doing for your employees in terms of the fitness, but specifically on this upskilling bit. So where do you see, Nikhil, I mean, the skill sets that people have been using? Do you think there is going to be a mindset shift from pre-corona and post-corona, and people would probably have to really open themselves to certain kind of specific skills which will set them up for success in future?
Yeah, I think, I was talking to a customer yesterday here in Gurgaon, right? And he was sharing with me that before COVID, he used to spend 3 hours to drive to Noida for a 1-hour meeting, right? And then come back another 3 hours, and all he did was 6 hours of driving and 1 hour of meeting.
Yes.
And, he was reflecting upon it to say, why was I doing that, right? I mean, why couldn't I just get on a Zoom call or
yes.
Or Google Hangout or Skype or whatever tool one uses to do that? So I think what this has forced upon is a realization that there are certain things we can be comfortable without having that kind of face-to-face in-person meeting. And this is just a basic example, right? You look at kids, right? I mean, all our kids are now doing online schooling, right?
Yes.
Who would have thought, right? That, and you look at how fast they have adapted, right? So I see this trend actually shifting. I think in my view, what will not happen is, it's not that the world will all become digital and offline will go away, right? I think we'll all end up somewhere in a hybrid situation where
True.
If online was today 15-20% part of your persona, it will become probably 40-50%, and then the other 40-50% will kind of be offline, because as humans we obviously will always need some sort of that the high touch connectivity. So I think I see the shift from very low single digit now to moving to at least 40-50% of digitization. Certain industries, especially you think of healthcare, right? I mean, you start wondering, why don't we have telemedicine a lot, right? I mean, because in today's world, you certainly realize, right? I could call a doctor if I have just a small flu right now. What do I do, right? I mean, I'm afraid to go to the hospital because I don't want to, expose myself. So how do I talk to my doctor? And some of these things are very easily diagnosed through telemedicine, right?